Yep.
Screen up.
I'm going to put that up right now. I just have to get you to share the screen. Okay.
Okay, so key items from the March presentation were that the projected state aid was going to be increased $235,000. The TRS, teachers retirement increase of 7.56%. And of the 1.4 million budget increase, 919,000 was attributed to salaries and benefits, and 503,000 was attributed to increase in, to BOCES services. The tax levy increase is 2.18%, which is our tax levy limit. And at that time, we had a budget gap of roughly $1 million. Okay, Aaron, how is it going to, okay. The March expenditures at the March presentation, you can see all the salaries, the equipment, the contractual expenses, everything. This was all the presentation in March. Next page. And there you can see the final total, $35,718,160, which was a $1.4 million increase and 4.15%. Next page. The projected revenues in March, tax levy, state aid based on the increases at that time were $34,668,230, which was a $373,157 increase over last year's budget, which was a 1.9% increase. Next page. So since then, here's some key items. The state budget was passed, and the foundation aid was held flat, which means the district lost $105,427 since the March presentation. The savings for moving Medicare eligible retirees to a Medicare supplement insurance plan helped us balance the budget. The governor reserves the right to reduce aid if revenues are not in line with the budget. So there are going to be 3 adjustment periods, one coming up because the first adjustment period was at the end of April. So there's going to be an adjustment. If there's going to be adjustment, there's going to be one coming in May, another one that will be at the end of May, and then another one in next year. These adjustments will affect state aid for next year. We don't know if there's going to be an adjustment, but indications all point to that probably will happen. How deep those cuts will be, we don't know. The governor's proposal to roll BOCES and instructional materials aids into foundation aid did not pass. So that is a good thing. Because those aids are based on actual expenses. And through all this, we balanced the budget and while maintaining our programming and staff. Next page. So this is the final budget. Instructional salaries at 10 million. Non-instructional salaries at 2.3 million. The equipment, 157,300. Contractual expenses, 3.5 million. Materials and supplies, 702,000. BOCES expenses, 5.2 million. And debt service, $4.4 million. Next page. State retirement, ERS is 286,000. The TRS is 979,000. Social Security, 963,000. Workers' comp, 118,000. Life insurance remained flat at 2,400. Unemployment insurance, we increased it to 30,000 because of what the pandemic we're going through now. We predict that there's probably going to be more unemployment claims, not so much from our staff, but from substitute teachers. Health and dental insurance, this is where we had our savings of $5.7 million. Other benefits, 15,000, and transfers, 143,000, for a total budget of $34,356,239, which is an increase of $61,166 over last year's budget, which is a 0.18% increase. Next page. The revenues, the tax levy remained the same from March. State aid, of course, was the drop from March. Other revenue, 801,000. Appropriated fund balance, 500,000, and appropriated reserves of 316,159, which brings a total revenue budget of $34,356,239. Again, an increase of $61,166 over last year's budget, and a 0.18% increase. Next page. So the budget expenses, as you can see, equal the budget revenue. So we have no deficit or surplus. It's balanced. Next page. This is a 10-year analysis of the Forks tax levy. As you can see, the last 5 years, we've been pretty much 2 or below. So the 10-year average is 2.57%. Next page. Questions?
Mark, how many switched over to the Medicare Advantage plan?
We don't have those figures yet.
So what number did you use to balance the budget?
We projected a $1.1 million savings.
Which would be how many people would have to switch?
That we didn't do it by people. We took the percentage based on other districts doing this. Usually, there was always a percentage that it was a pretty consistent percentage of who stayed and who went across. So based on that, we were able to come up with that figure.
With the virtual problems we've been having, and that may continue into the fall, they said, how will that affect the budget if it continues on?
Well, if the education goes virtual in the fall too, we should have more savings, because obviously you've got expenses that when kids are in school are a lot higher than when they're not in school. So there's going to be savings there. But again, those savings will probably be offset by state aid cuts.
Okay.
Mark, when will we know how many people have switched over to the insurance?
They're supposed to have, retirees are supposed to have everything in by the end of May, but I'm assuming by the middle of June, we will have a definite answer.
Okay.
So what happens if as many as we thought don't switch over?
Well, then we'd have to look to make cuts somewhere else.
Do we have anyone that's already filed to do the early retirement?
No, Mary, at this point, no one has contacted me about that.
No? Okay.
No.
Oh, I had another question too. How much did we put aside for the insurance? For the self-pay?
Okay, so there's going to be, there can't be a reserve established per New York state law. There is no reserve for insurance.
Okay.
So there, but the district will reimburse that out of the general fund.
So what does that look like? What does that item line look like to, I don't know how to convey my message. How do we set aside that money if we can't set up a reserve?
It'll come from our health insurance line.
Okay.
My other question, does somebody else have another one? I don't want to.
Not yet, no.
My other question is that, is there some place on there that states the lawyer fees, what we have in a budget for it and how much we've spent, how much we have rolling on? I don't know how all that works.
So we do have a separate line item in the budget for lawyer fees for next year. And then there's lawyer fees that are this year's costs. Are you looking to find out what the exact costs have been this year?
Yeah, if you've got it there, that would be great.
Let's see here. You're gonna have to give me a while here because I have to go in somewhere else to find it. I'm gonna have to walk.
What happens here is we set a number for legal fees, for special ed, for multiple different things like that in the budget. And they all vary depending. So they usually offset one another depending. So any number we may set for legal fees may go up and down depending on what kind of legal trouble the district has or how much we need to use an attorney. But it's usually offset by something. So again, there's also the contingencies in the budget if things go up and down. And again, what was a $35 million budget? The legal fees usually aren't that much. I think they're around 30,000 we set aside.
All right, I just worry about if somebody needs to use that insurance money, where it's gonna come from.
Yeah, we definitely have that in the budget, Mary, and it's in the CFTA MOA that we just signed, so we have to produce it. So
Right.
It's definitely there, and it's definitely.
Yeah, I just wondered where it would come from.
Okay, so you want to know what we budgeted for legal fees for next year?
Sure.
Okay, so what we budgeted. $30,000.
Geez, Mark, I didn't even have to look, did I?
What's that?
I didn't even have to look, did I?
No.
I've been sleeping with the budget.
Any more questions for Mark? Any more discussion? Okay. Okay, thank you, Mark.
Yep.
All right, 2.2, upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion to adopt the proposed 2020-2021 school budget in the amount of $34,356,239. May I have a motion, please?
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Amy O'Brien,
Aye.
Spiros Tomatoes,
Aye.
Mary Collins,
Aye.
Michael Vavra,
Aye.
Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Hey, Amy, can I just
Yes.
want to reemphasize now that that motion's passed,
Uh-huh.
that the school district and the school board just passed the budget with no staff cuts in it. And I think that, I'm sorry, it's not cuts, staff layoffs. And that was our goal all along. And I know a lot of people were very pensive and worried, and we wouldn't get this done, and very, very concerned about their positions. And I appreciate everyone sticking with us, hanging tight, and hats off to the school board, to Mark Petrino, to ENB, to everyone who got the retiree health insurance done to balance the budget. And we're going to come back in the fall, full force staff. And this is a huge feather in all of our caps in this time to do that. And again, I apologize for all the angst for the last few months and the very intense board meetings we had and all the discussions and town hall meetings, but it all worked out. And after tonight, we can all go forward. So I appreciate it very much to the school board.
2.3, upon recommendation of the superintendent, a motion to approve the 2021 property tax report card as attached. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Amy O'Brien,
Aye.
Spiros Tomatoes,
Aye.
Mary Collins,
Aye.
Michael Vavra,
Aye.
and Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
Motion passed. 3.1, a motion to adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion, please?
Motion. Second.
Okay, that was Mike and then Spiros. Discussion? Roll call?
Amy O'Brien,
Aye.
Spiros Tomatoes,
Aye.
Mary Collins,
Aye.
Michael Vavra,
Aye.
and Lynn Lockwood.
Aye.
Motion passed. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.